Maybe, you know. Maybe Nip are really just that hot right now. I don't know. But when I was watching the game yesterday, I didn't see a full-strength Astralis. I don't know about you.
I would mirror your sentiment.
And no, OG were not full-strength either. Both can get better as the tournament continues forward. NBK definitely looked good, at least from OG's side. So I think we're going to see a different team, both from OG and Astralis today. I think that's for sure. I think they'll both be better today. How much better, I don't know.
Yeah, and even if OG are better, are they going to be good enough to take down Astralis?
Well, they actually, like they brought up on the desk, they actually avoided Nuke, which would have been the most sane map pick. Maybe because they wanted to avoid playing with Bubsky on Nuke, I don't know.
Ooh, corner position from Magis, good for 2 kills. He's got more bodies right up in front of him. He's got a little bit of helping hands here from Dupree. It seems OG have come to a quick end unless Valda can manage to finish off this here clutch. He's got 2 kills to his name already. Needs to reload. Or does he? 12 shots could be enough. They're kind of lining up in front of him, and he's just peeking around these boxes. But sure enough, Xyp9x gets his angle, Xyp9x gets his kill, and Astralis, well, they get the pistol.
It took too long to kill Magisk in Hummer. He was just sitting there jumping around, reloading for this whole time. Look at this. Or, yeah, Magisk in the corner. And they unload an entire mag onto him. Teammates get flashed in the corner. Only one gets away at the end of the day. But Astralis had put together the hold versus the B exact. No plant. That's all the OG really wanted, but they don't grab that. The thing was, man, yesterday, OG, they had a good start on both maps.
That is true.
And we so quickly forgot about it because they lost both maps. And also because when the other team started coming back, which was big, they just started to look really, really good all of a sudden. But like at first, you know, OG, they were firing off. Again, they had that streak. Dust 2 was one of the maps. They looked really good for a couple seconds. And it really did feel like fundamentals were the main issue. It really just felt like they just needed to dry run a little bit more.
Yeah.
Clean things up a little bit. The ideas are there as they usually are.
Also, I feel like, you know, yesterday versus Big, we had far more star potential from the individual players of the Big clan. You know, OG didn't really have that kind of, that real pop to them.
Yeah, just Valda.
Valda kind of in the second map brought that in, but I mean, like, Inferno, that was really a little, dare I say it, dull.
True.
But, ooh, Device, he is starting to find some impact here, using the Scout, taking down these pistols. I will agree with you, though. You know, OG did look like they had those pieces, those strong starts at the beginning. It's not just you with your rose-tinted glasses. No, sir. OG could have what it takes, but right now they don't have anything. You know, these measly pistols just get ripped apart. Astralis keep 4 alive.
And I think Pimp Maniac, we're talking about some of the pistol stats there on the desk. Pimp said basically was like 16 out of... I can't remember. There are too many numbers.
You said the number.
It was something to do with 16. There's a 4 in there and a 22. That's all I remember. I don't remember in which order, but basically, Astralis don't win the pistol often, and they also don't very often convert if they lose. So here's an outlier already. We've got the Astralis with a 2-0 start. They don't have to worry about not winning a pistol, and they've got OG on the back foot slightly. Okay, but OG, they win long. They win long at the cost of HP. You'll happily take this. Nobody watching the flank, though, which means they're going to be a bit nervous, a bit paranoid about, you know, a mid-push.
Ooh, nice. Matu. Clean headshot to topple the front runner of the defense. Now it's up to Xyp9x. Playing alongside the ramp. He's got heads just popping out. Sprouts over top of the side of the ledge there. Unable to get more than one. Man advantage for OG. Strong positioning.
They're moving faster.
Yeah, it's good. They didn't stagnate. Like you said, right, that paranoia definitely could have sunk in. They didn't have any mid control, but it clearly didn't. They knew what they wanted from the get-go. They took long, and the moment they had it, they followed through. Motion of the ocean, baby. It's OG on the board.
I think you almost never need 5 people to take one thing, so it can be a bit of a fail-safe to leave someone in the back. You know, leave someone in spawn buying guns for a couple extra seconds to watch your flank, just in case things really go that badly at long, or the fast flank comes in. And whatever. But OG, they just go up fast, and it was clearly their prerogative to just continue forward, not hold long control and wait, just keep on moving. So that was never really an issue. Astralis were never in a place to actually take over map control. And of course, I mean, a really great shot here from Montu.
Yes.
You know, Device would have been in and out like a fast food burger if he had been given the opportunity. He would have gotten out of there.
The man had no chance. And this round, he will have a scout. Astralis showing us 2 of them here in round 4. Device. Yep. Ooh. I like it when you get dangerous. Jumps up Xbox. Goes peeking towards top mid. Sure enough, OG, they are crouching inwards, crawling towards him. And Mantu now on the receiving end of a nice clean shot.
I actually blinked. That was a flick, right?
I think so.
I actually blinked. Like, I looked at that, I was like, that was a flick. He flicked all the way. That was like the tiniest little part of a hat. That's a revenge frag here. Device on the Montu.
That one meant something.
But look at the rotation. It's into CT spawn. They're really anticipating a mid to B. So if OG, once again, if they move fast enough, they can punish this setup a little bit. It's not the worst situation in the world for Astralis, but it's best case for OG, who are down a player.
Yep.
And they're going.
It's 2 rounds now. Astralis not really disrupting the back line, just kind of letting their opponents play as they please.
Oh, this is a strong spot, man. I mean, they can get the plant in. They've got cat control. They don't have top mid control. That player's dead. But they're grouped up pretty well.
Saving grace as well as, you know, Astralis don't have top mid control either. They're going to do the classic. 3 guys up from CT, 2 back from long. We've still got a flashbang, a smoke grenade here for Astralis to work with. Cat control still very under wraps, not a problem. They're just locking down this retake attempt on the forefront of it all. Alexi has 1 point of health left over.
Uh-oh.
Smoke grenade to cancel out the molly. That makes it a little bit more interesting, but that damage that just landed, that is huge. And Glaive, he's going to jump on top of this bomb. It's a 5-second stick. Valda's on the wrong side. Valda doesn't hit him in time.
He got him. Holy hell, he actually pulls that out. No way that just happened.
Believe it or not, it did.
Why do you have to swing off Cat if the bomb's planted there? Did he come all the way out to... Oof, that was a great shot. This was, also you had a player rotate CT. Valda came through CT spawn. Alexi came all the way out.
All the way out.
If Valda could... If the player in CT spawn could get there in time, your Cat player should not be committing that hard.
Mm.
And also... Maybe you don't need a CT player there.
Oof, but Mantu's not going to get a break.
Oh, that was such a strong round.
Yeah.
It was actually such a strong round. They did 4v5-2 and got that close and then still just bungled it right at the end.
Yikes. Glaive inside of the A site. Astralis goes beyond. And Glaive's going to get himself a second. Or, excuse me, Zipix has lent a helping hand for that first frag. Glaive's just looking so comfortable. Seemed as though he could have done it all, but bomb's been dropped out in the open. Not ideal. Alexi and Valda already low HP. Now it's just Alexi left over. So we've seen a couple of good moments from OG. One of them nets them a round win. The second very well could have been. But now there's going to be some economic problems. Now Astralis have that strong start.
Yeah, with economic problems comes the tilt and the, you know, letting the fate sit in a little bit, right? Too much room to breathe for the winning team. So, you know, but it'll test their resilience. I mean, they have it. They know they can. It's just about attitude, really, if they can just stay in the game. But I mean, it's kind of like when Big was playing yesterday, even when the score was like 7-1, I could see that Big were still doing pretty well. So, I mean, I feel the same way about OG right now. I'm sure if they can kind of remind themselves of that, they will be in a decent spot. There was an opportunity.
Really got some nice mid-fights so far from Device.
Yeah, no kidding.
Whether he extends out onto Xbox with that scout the first time, now just, you know, keeping eyes up with the AWP back-to-back rounds. I'd be curious to keep our eyes on him as this CT side unfolds.
They tether off of Issa, rotating all around through spawn while he just kind of keeps eyes down mid. Grouping in the tunnels, and it's 3 players towards A. So once again, a good call in the sense just they're hitting the correct site at least. Smoke goes down on their face. They could still execute through this. Sometimes you turn from the smoke just because you're scared that the opponents know what you're doing. In reality, they're just practicing prophylaxis, throwing the smoke down because they're a little bit light on B. And this allows Glaive to free up, rotate over from mid.
Yeah, but Glaive sprays. Not really substantial damage. Now they're going to see them, though. Dupree sees a couple players clambering up over the box into what he could call as a cat hit, but in reality is OG doubling back. 30 seconds for them to make this play, and they're met by another smoke. But Alexi does get the mid kill.
Yeah, that's true.
So they were here once upon a time, and they decided not to hammer their heads against the B site. They could do it right now, and they kind of have to.
Well, yeah.
No other option.
They know the mid guy's dead, so they can actually wait out the smoke. They know there's 2 here.
Focus on the fights, and it's going to be Magisk first and foremost. His supports Dupree towards Carr on only 28 health, but Magisk very quickly gets a double and a 3rd kill. He nearly shuts it all down, but just in the nick of time, Mantu almost arrives. Stopped by Device through doors.
Hey, they needed the hold, and Astralis members came through. Great hold, right? Here it does get very scary when Alexi gets the kill, and they pull the rotations in a round where they don't invest much, so it's a nice round from OG, but it's also just a great hold here on the side. I mean, what can you say? 3 kills from Magisk, sharp shooting, really stood his ground. That's a spot that he loves to play. And, yeah, so Astralis go up, but OG, clearly they're still thinking, they're still moving, and they're still working as a unit, which is, I think, the most refreshing thing, you know? It's a little aloe vera on the eyes, watching OG move together on the T side. They're definitely on the same page.
Which I want to say is something we saw yesterday as well. You know, that was one of the strengths. Whether or not it was every single round, maybe not.
Yeah, sure.
There were definitely moments of it. See if we get more or less of it this evening. Feels to me like Astralis are very content with just letting OG play their playbook. We haven't had much disruption. Other than that one round, Device throws the scout out middle over Xbox. Kind of leaning back. Xyp9x is getting curious, though. He's feeling out long doors and does so with an opening kill, but also an opening death. Device dives back into the CT spawn. Nice challenge coming in from OG. Flash off the wall from Glaive. Nicely done. Keeps that man advantage nice and strong. But now there's that off in Montu, and it's Issa to help out. Swings wide from the A site. Now the bomb can come over, but can it cross? Ooh.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, it goes past Dupree's vision, but they don't know that he hasn't taken his eyes off it, so they'll try to go for this. They'll grab it, they can jump on the site, but now the Molly interrupts things. They'll be forced to take this duel, and Magisk will be willing to hold down the spray, and suddenly there are no T players left, just Montu at long with the bomb down on site. Oh, it's just close calls, but they all just lean towards the way of Astralis.
And it feels like Montu trying to throw that bomb over. That's what kind of gives them that extra 3 seconds, 4 seconds for Astralis to get into position for that Molotov to hit. You know, Issa didn't want to extend to grab that bomb. He kind of stutter-stepped it, thinking it was being watched by Dupree and CT. But we saw it, not the case. Dupree, none the wiser that it was just sitting in the open.
Man, they just had no choice at this point. This is yeah, I guess just not enough time to make up for this. I mean, they throw one of their smokes into the molly as NBK comes out long. It's a close situation. I mean, I don't know. It was actually pretty good, the trades. They saw Device go into CT spawn. They killed Glaive 1-for-1 in the pit. They didn't have quite enough time to do what they wanted to. If they could have waited out that molly, that would have been great. You know, I think Montu used one of the long smokes to put out the molly that Glaive threw at long. Oh, but now we're moving into B really quickly again.
Strong trade initially, and Dupree's here to stop them. Flash through doors and a peek from window. Ooh, quick redirection.
That's a comfy spot to be in. It's 3-on-4. We've all been here in the retake server.
They heard that damage too. Device actually going to take a couple shots after the fire, lick his feet.
Who would you rather be, T's or CTs?
CTs. Oh, that's both answers. T's. Because Mantu, well, he's got a headshot through the pillar of tunnel.
There's one more.
May not know about Glaive, exactly. Glaive could swing out, but he's actually going to use the grenade as his teammate dies. Xyp9x trade frags. Oh, nice shot from Mantu, and he's kind of low. Xyp9x knows, and he's can't able to do anything about it. Mantu, big play from him. 3 frags on it. Gets the first one in tunnels, dives around the corner. Yes, Glaive comes in eventually to kill the player on plat, but Mantu just using the corners of that cubby perfectly for both his second and third kills.
It's a great first shot, and yeah, he gets to avoid Glaive because Glaive telegraphs his push by throwing the flash in, thinking that Mantu saw him. It's kind of like that bomb situation from the last round, except this time it works against Astralis. So that's a way back in. It's the full-on B rush that works. I mean, the variety of play is there, and because they've kept it close, they reap the benefits. Astralis are down to just the Deagles on this round.
Should absolutely be Oju. Oh, what the heck? OG.
Osu?
I'm making up letters, man. OG. Breaking through.
Okay.
It's my mind still trying to wrap itself around the fact that Nip have taken down Astralis and Big. You know, it's scrambled me from the inside out, man.
Yeah, well, their new logo looks like scrambled eggs, so.
Chopped up lettuce.
All the love. Hey, listen, the team doing well is making the logo look good. I swear.
They back away from the bomb plant. OG, nice and easy. No losses whatsoever on this one. Hell, they even get to keep the majority of grenades.
Nice and quick. I pretty much liked every single call that OG have made. Just a couple of small individual moments and like close situations played well by Astralis that have kept them ahead, but the game feels kind of even, I feel like. And now we've even got a critical round 1 and like a free kind of eco to come back into it. So still curious as to where this half will take us. And I think this just comes down to attitude and focus, really, because it feels like the game plan is better than it was yesterday.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, you definitely, you know, after a loss, you want to pick against the team. But after a loss, any self-respecting team is going to absolutely learn the most. The worst thing that can happen is your confidence goes down. But if you really feel like you know, sit there and have that hard conversation, go into the server, work on things, you should come out a better team for the next match. And I think the same can be said for Astralis, too. They had a hard loss themselves. They've got things to work on. But Device is still fragging. Here he is, pushing off Cat. Deagle into lower tunnels. The default was already slow, but now it's crawled to a halt.
Device maybe getting curious. Man, this server is silent.
Yeah.
OG.
Oh, are they actually going to find a push to punish?
Yep.
That's kind of a big way back in. They're going to kind of regret that, I feel like. But how the hell did the Vice get into lower? We had a player at green box.
Yeah. Oh, and it works wonderfully. He gets it back. It's almost like that false confidence of the T's taking tunnels back. Device slips in. Player top mid didn't catch him. Now it's Falda actually to die to Device. Device, he's making a play off of this retrieved M4. He's got 3 kills on the round. He's done everything for them. Xyp9x just needs to hide. And as he pops back up, Mantu finds his headshot. Still now just that one-man advantage. Glaive's close enough to jump and spray if things want to get weird.
He loves jumping. He's definitely 100% jockey.
Ooh, but here comes Device. 4 kills. Device 1 away from the ace. He sees it, and it's so damn close. Mantu, 2 kills. Just diving back, trying to hide, trying to crouch, trying to keep himself in cover. As that bomb continues to tick, Device continues to miss. And he's got 5 bullets left over. Make that 4. Mantu not wanting to die out to Magisk now. It's just into the 1v1, and Device is going to take it.
The clutch and the 1v1. 10-second stick. It comes down to the wire, but he has enough time to grab it, right?
He's got it in the bag.
Wow. I mean...
Ace.
It's a series of plays. I can't believe he snuck into lower. He got the spam kill across through the smoke.
Wow. A little bit of nonsense and a whole lot of skill.
Definitely. That's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Every kill critical. Wow. Okay. That's one way to lose. And yeah, that's tough. Montu actually played that clutch really well. Stayed alive. Just had to win that final duel, but it was also versus the final boss.
That was a good way. Oh, what? Zipix does him dirty. Poor Valda. He's now been killed through smoke back to back.
Wow, they lose long. They drop a player and take tons of damage on another two. And now one of their only players who had full HP is out of the round as well. Down to Alexi, Montu, low HP. They lost all the map control. They tried to go and grab. And I guess we had Astralis watching the match from yesterday, seeing that lurk out towards mid after not getting long control. Something OG love to do.
That was a real consistency in their T side yesterday. NBK coming out here, clearing corners, falling back into the grenade execute. And I feel like more often than not, Big maybe not getting the kill initially, but sometimes disrupting them, throwing players downwards for the peak. Smoke pops for both teams. Bit of a gentleman's agreement. They understand exactly where OG are at. It's just a matter of stopping them. We'll see if Dupree can get another op kill. He just saw at least 2. Could have seen 3. We'll see. Dupree. Oh, it's a bit of a squeeze here. He's down to a quarter health. Magisk lends that helping hand. Crucial 2 kills to make sure that bomb never gets itself on site. And Mantu, yeah, he's going to have to take the evacuation route. A save of his AWP gives Astralis their 8th.
Yeah, it was just one of the default, basically. A Hail Mary at the end, and they made good progress to get to the window, but Dupree's final, information with the amount of time left over, there's no way to rotate round, make any other kind of kill, and this is just where the round begins and ends. Zipix specifically spraying to punish that spot, so Valda gets called out in the corner in front of the smoke. And the nades were really good at long as well. So basically, throughout the round, the Astralis just maintained a slightly better position.
Yep. Let OG walk into them. Kind of where we began this half. Long control out the gates. OG trying to clash yet again. It's Alexi on the forefront. Eats a bit of a flashbang, eats a bit of damage. Meanwhile, nothing in return versus the CTs.
Well, they're keeping the pressure high. I mean, it's definitely, it's a situation they want to get into. Now, last time they went 5 long like this, they just committed up. This time they leave NBK to go back to the top of mid to make sure no pushes have come. We've got Astralis holding on for cat control, leaving device lower. Mantu out-ops him. And this opens things up drastically. We've also got a situation where NBK can potentially lurk. If they have any trouble crossing the sight lines.
They take some damage. Glaive, that's audio given over, and half of his health, but he still finds Issa's head through smoke, and then he burns. Valda is going to find that utility kill, and it's crucial. Keeps a man advantage here for OG, but a hard check on flank. That then turns all attention back to the bomb site and long. Magisk chucking the Molotov upwards. That's going to have them forced into the corners. But it's not like Astralis are in a position to punish this. Dupree, he has that follow-up molly. He throws his towards Car. Not going to interrupt anybody. Alexi's incredibly low, but he's got a nice position here on the side of the smoke. High risk, high reward. And because of it, Astralis seems to concede, at least towards CT, but Zipix pushes inwards, and now they've got 2 kills. Bomb not planted for Montu at all. He can just jump on it, stick it all the way through. Dupree just needs to buy time, and that's it. That's all. 9 rounds for Astralis.
I actually pulled that off. I thought it as well, that they were actually going to turn away from that. Zipix coming up out towards Goose, winning that one-on-one duel, and the bomb is planted safe because they were worried about Glaive jumping up from spawn, maybe. But then they have one playing towards long. Maybe they should have just been closer to the action, especially considering they had MBK. Oh, man, I can't help but feel like maybe Montu doesn't need to be there in that post plant because they have MBK flanking Cat from top mid. They know that flank's not coming in, and it's not planted for him. I don't know. Just slight mistakes again. It's just catching up with them. Another pretty good position once they get the bomb down after winning long control and taking a risk on going for it again. Got punished really hard the last round. But yeah, it's got to be... it's tough considering how close it's gotten. But if there's a team that's going to punish you when you make slight mistakes like that, it's going to be Astralis every day of the week. So.
Yep. And in those really kind of like high-octane clutch moments, you know it's going to be Xyp9x specifically. 3 players for the CTs now on 11 kills, but Issa, he just walks out tunnels. Magisk finds one with his back turned. Alexi burns from 100 to 28, but he doesn't have any help. It is all on Magisk right here, right now. And NBK, with ease, cuts him down. That's going to force the hands of the counter-terrorists. They're gone. A save called and a 4th round for the offensive OG.
Keeping it fresh. They move over to the B site this time around. Give it another shot. I mean, there's nothing too complex about what they did. Just a B hit with a little bit of pressure at mid. They catch the rotator. They get the opening kill. And Astralis are not really like connected that well on the B site.
Yeah,
you've got one
the window
car.
guy caught
because
off.
The smoke was down in the tunnel, so OG just took a risk and disrespected it, and were rewarded. And maybe they put some pressure on mid so that Dupree would be opping mid from window again, so that they could push out for that kill. I don't know if that was the exact tactic there, if it was a bit of luck or a little bit of both, but it had his attention, so that would make sense.
One man saves. So 4th T round. This is the walkout here from Issa. Jumps up. Yeah, Dupree sitting in no man's land. Yeah. And then this was the rotator getting caught as well. Glaive knew someone would be watching it. All the pressure on Magisk. If the counter-terrorists were going to win that round, it had to be him from Car. And everybody's individually looking pretty crisp. You know, no drop shots.
Yeah, it's mostly been positional errors for sure. Yeah, the aim looks really good.
Mechanically, OG looks sound.
It's kind of just like in certain spots. Wait, why are you doing this in the retake or the post plant or whatever? But yeah, I see that too. Device clearing 180R in the exceptional range. Xyp9x right up there as well. He's definitely looking like he's back to form. And the half continues forward. What'll be the next strategy for OG? I mean, they clearly are at any point could just go for long control. I know delayed B hit straight up is on the cards. They haven't done full-on cat takes quite as much. And I think they're anticipating a full buy. I don't know if we have any kind of slow default. That seems like the only time that they're really doing that. Here they spread towards tunnel. B.
Ooh, wow, that hits.
Yeah, the bomb leans that way. Glaive gets some unconfirmed damage on Valda. He's pissed about it.
I feel like Valda's been the recipient of a lot of those cheesy shots. Flashbang come into B. Bullets go back.
Oh, they weren't even prepared to commit off of that. Maybe they're looking for a fake. I don't know. The nades come in. They're going to hear some late pushes. Montu punches off Cat, so this opens things up. And the chaos ensues now as they get this kill. The rotations come out for the CTs, and options open back up for OG.
Yeah, good damage output, though, through middle.
Oh. That's something.
Oh, Dupree, you going to go for that? Come on, you got 2 players low, right in front of you.
Well, he knows they saw him cross, but he's come back to the door.
And now they're going to look to hammer into the B site. This pushes Magisk into a bit of an awkward spot. He's all the way back on plat, but he has as little HP as most of these players from OG.
And Dupree, here he is. He's flanking now.
If he just lines up a spam, it'd be massive. Dupree starts to walk in from behind Magisk. Oh, he pops up, takes down 1, 2. Dupree finds the flank, and now it's all on Alexi. Superb.
They made it feel like they didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, Dupree had that play calculated entirely.
Down to a T.
Yeah, on the cross. And Magisk does so much from the back of the site, even though he's low, I believe, right?
Yep, exactly. 28 health or something like that. Really elusive gameplay from Magisk. And obviously the comms between him and Dupree had to be on point for that to unfold so cleanly. So, cool. Astralis just doing what they do, right? Impressive CS. Getting the most of all those mid-round moments. And in that case, ensuring that OG can't string rounds together. But OG will get the opening kill. And then poor Issa gets punished, found on the side of that long smoke. There's still 3 bodies from OG contesting long doors, and 2 defenders in position to stop them. We've got Alexi B getting device and opening up middle. Again, a position where Magisk is kind of on his own.
Oh my god.
No respect. Glaive just flanks all the way from long towards top mid. Confirms that Alexi's still on the other side of doors. But Alexi winning that duel is pretty crucial.
He kind of went a little bit fast with that one, right? It's still 2-on-2. Lots of time left on the round. I mean, maybe OG are a bit frazzled. Like, whoa, what else just happened that we don't know about? We just left long. you know, all but 10 seconds ago. But now they established, they've kind of cut down on mid. They found a push. They know that they're still probably 1A, 1B. They just kind of don't exactly know maybe where Dupree has gone to. But it's really the CTs who are maybe a bit more scared now.
So we get to finish with a 2v2. Final attempt for OG to grab that 5th round win on their T side. Magisk playing outside of the B site, ready. Oh, but he turns. And that could have been the worst bit of timing. In fact, he does still lose his head. And Dupree with half health has 2 players to take down. They scramble up towards window, and they both nearly slip in. Alexi actually caught off. Let's see it. Dupree retakes coming in quick. Molotovs exchanged in both of the entrances, and a duel that could unfold on the doorway. 4 health makes the difference, and maybe 5 rounds will too. Join us after the break as OG take to the defense. Of glory for OG in that first half. They had their chances, but Astralis punished mistakes, and mistakes were certainly made. That's what got us to this opening 10-5 half.
That's well put. You know, I think Astralis, it was a half where they had flaws, but in unlikely situations, they put together some clutches. I think a lot of the onus for OG in their own mistakes, that they can take onus for a lot of the rounds that fell apart because of the weird post-plan situations. But yeah, as you said, it was just kind of it was good and bad at the same time, and I think the scoreline adequately represents kind of how well each team was playing.
Ambitious Glock shots from T-Spawn. Bomb curiously hanging out up there as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cap peek is going to cost Mantu. There's a second player here, though. It's Issa on mid. And Astralis, they're just going to cruise right by him. Frag was meant to meet them and didn't. But Valda, well, he's found himself in a nice little position here. Could have come in big with the multi-kill. But instead, it's traded by Dupree, who has both of the frags in the pistol for Astralis. Device combining with mid control puts Astralis in a great spot. It's all about this CT retake now. Everybody walking up from OG. Ooh. Issa kicking it off with a nice clean headshot. P250 at a distance. Looks to pop down range, but it doesn't seem to work. It's all on Magisk. He's got 2 players right ahead. They can barely stand at this point. 11 HP left between them, and yet that's all they need. OG, a 6th round win.
No one did a thing that round except Issa. I would just like to say, all of those shots, if he died on any one of those kills, it would have fallen completely apart from OG. I think that last exchange of bullets between, of blanks between Alexi and Magis said the most. But yeah, let's relive this. An insane shot on Dupree. He gets the pit frag as well as the refrag on Glaive, and eventually comes in after he puts the mag back into the gun. The final headshot on Magisk as well really just does everything.
The pretty quick sequence as well between the first kill on ramp, the pit player, and then that third frag on site.
It's a Twitch clip.
Yeah.
It fits in one.
Nice and condensed.
One short Twitch clip right there.
Really, you know, meets the attention span of the Zoomers.
Right. It's clip.
Op's dead. Device just takes down Mantu with the scout.
It looked like he got headshot, right?
Yeah, it did.
Crazy. Okay.
Issa sees a shadow as they try to clamber over the box.
Is Issa going to save OG?
Man, maybe. Maybe.
Calling it a bit too soon. He's still negative, but the 4 kills, this one on the Antico.
No, you're being negative too.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking Issa stocks are...
On the rise?
They're like GameStop last week.
Okay. Glaive's just going to lock in Alexi B. Sees the kneecap. Drops him to 40. Smoke grenade as well. This B defense is only in the form of NBK as well. So remember, if they get beyond this CT spawn, or if they can just even lock them into it, then we've got a straight up 3v1 to the favor of Astralis. But NBK had an incendiary, so he buys a little bit of time. This could buy enough time for OG to force the issue here in mid. But they've actually just moved that 4th player back towards tunnels. NBK swings with the MP9 for the first opening kill. And again, his teammates now get into position. It is a bloodbath. Had Glaive stuck around towards middle, then there's nobody to help NBK.
Yeah, also, Glaive running is why NBK was so prepared, because Alexi heard him from that CT. Of course, no one knew what was going on there in middle. There was no information visually, just the footsteps of Glaive getting out that tipped off Alexi. and then the communication did the rest. But I'm really liking how MBK is playing. Of course, I mean, we've got a series of players in the negative, but there's still some spots here where they look good. I feel like MBK yesterday definitely still looked pretty good. Like he was definitely doing his part. And I think you pointed out the stat that he was taking on a lot of the entry fragging in either the first or second duel of the round. And I feel like Issa has done his fair share as well, which is something that wasn't happening recently for whatever reason. So that's cool to see. OG intent on controlling middle with the kind of three-pronged attack. They've got the Cat player as well as two up here at mid. And Montu will punish. They will happily fight Montu, knowing that he's grabbing $100 a kill.
Ooh.
It's kind of just like a carnival game trying to fight the Opper.
Yeah,
you have all the rights to do it. I mean, you're probably losing, but you're only giving up $100.
Oh, if it's a carnival, there's got to be clowns, Launders. Where are they?
Are you baiting me into like trying to call a player or team clowns?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play that game.
I just tried.
What are these stickers, by the way?
They're from the
stickers?
They're from the Broken Fang collection. Okay. Recently added. Very popular amongst the pros.
Cool.
Run boost. Oh, bit of a dud.
Does its job, I guess.
And Alexi's going to do his job once they start rounding this final corner. Valda lends a hand. Bombs drop. Perfect. Nicely done by OG there. They gave Astralis a bit of wiggle room, let them walk into their own deaths, and kept everybody standing.
And bingo bongo, or whatever they say, we're back 10-8.
Sure. Bish bash bongos.
Banjo-Kazooie. We are here within 2. Device open up. He's not got the rest of his utility kit, but it is pretty much a bonus here. Alexi, I think he'll drop a gun to his teammate just to go for the MP9. So what position will he play with it is the question. Oh, and this is good. You know, we've got fast mid control here for Astralis, but they've got Dupree out towards long by himself, and OG have no idea.
Ooh, Alexi, one and done.
They don't know about Dupree, do they?
Called it with a FAMAS. I don't think so, man. Oh, maybe Mantu does. Oh, yeah, sure enough. And poor Dupree, he just sees the player inside of the bomb site, kind of peeks out a little bit wider for it, and Mantu's right there ready for him.
If he sped that up, he was actually in a good spot to catch him off. The pressure on Cat means that he had the attention of the CTs on Cat. They did their job in trying to cause a distraction from Dupree, but Dupree's timing window was a lot smaller than he realized.
Device lands a shot on Issa to drop him so low, and Zipix immediately tries to like vacuum into this dark unknown of middle control. Ah, Montu just walks right down. Ooh, bring a knife to a gunfight. You're gonna get blasted. Glaive gets Swiss cheesed. Device not able to find any movement inside of the A site. There is nobody there. If only he had the bomb. He has to double back for it. Issa's going to jump up right into him. In fact, that's an offering.
That's huge, yeah.
Now, if he uses his Molotov on CT spawn, he can just go right in for this bomb plant.
Yeah, the rotation's going to be slow. He's got the AWP, which I would take an AWP over a rifle in this 1v3 in the post plant specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, a smoke to use, and you know he'll get creative with it. Now it's a 1-on-2. I mean, it's basically 50-50 at this point. In Device, he's not scared of Cat. He's taking down the long player. He's looking for the fight in CT spawn. It feels like it's coming. He does grab that shot. Another up the ramp, and he isn't spotting anybody coming out of that smoke. But that player, oh my God, actually MBK does trade him out, doubling up in CT with his teammate and denying another clutch from Device.
Listen, man, there's a small group of players where in that 1v4 with that bomb plant, you can start to feel it. You know, your mind's eye just, it tells you this is winnable. And a guy like Device definitely makes it close. Valiant effort here in the clutch. Clean op shots on both the peak on long and this one into Mantu. And then it's just a matter of trying to keep track of NBK, who comes out from the bushes with that big old beard.
It was just, it was one kill at a time.
Robin Williams.
It was so much like the Deagle, the round that became the Deagle to the M4 to the
yesterday
8.
With Keto.
No, I mean you're earlier
here.
Match, yeah, where he picked up all 5. Okay, one for one out towards long control. OG being very aggressive about it. They lose a key player. Feels like MBK in the second half has been catching them when they've been falling. But the same can be said for Dupree over on Astralis. 3 CTs here at long, and Montu puts in the work. They drop the bomb out in the open, and they flash retake, but it's not a good flash. That flash did not do anything. I'm not sure if it popped behind a sign or if it bounced off something, but it didn't go up far enough.
There's another one.
I gotta be careful with, even if a flash is good for situations like that, if you trust a flash too hard, you swing too wide sometimes. And one flash, you know, you can get very unlucky in a number of ways. But here they don't get the information. They go back. And Astralis are taking the route of delaying at long to go back up towards A. They have no plans to leave from here. So it just comes down to how OG want to commit, or how OG want to play this, if they want to commit or not. But it's all about generating the idea that they're walking back through spawn, through tunnels, so OG aren't going to move anytime soon.
Buying some crucial time.
Whoa, he jumped up on Fast Cat. That's an interesting spot actually to be in.
Alexi's looking over. Zipix, safe bomb plant. No one's going to be able to stop him. That frag grenade. Oh, almost. Almost in time. Bomb would have gone down regard. Oh, another dunked on. And now it falls onto the op of Magisk. He's got both these players. Now, if they boost one on site, they can peek him at the same time from different positions, and that should be enough, and they don't even need to both go at him. Just nicely played by OG. Perfect frag grenades, perfect peek, and an excellent 2v2 to take them into a nice, even scoreline.
It's just perfectly coordinated. I mean, contrast that with some of the rounds in the first half. It's like already such a better situation. Some great nades here to make up for the fact that Alexi B kind of messed up with the flash earlier on, throws the well-placed HE. Issa comes over, they hold their grenades for a long time. Alexi delays with the Molotov for long enough for Issa to rotate in the first place. I mean, it felt like we were watching Astralis in the retake, right? So
yeah, spot on.
That's a very good round from them. And that does make it a tied game.
Yes, sir. 5 rounds straight from this CT side of OG. And 3 of those 5 by way of defuse.
Gotta love those vertical stacks too. It's just an absolute perfect counter. And it looks so easy to organize from the perspective of the person who's getting peeked. But of course, when you're trying to vertical stack with someone and peek to the same angle as them, you can't always look like that well drilled.
Yeah, we saw it in that one. You know, there was a little bit off because it seemed like the bottom player was looking more towards pit. But Issa played it intelligently. New plat was an option. And finishes off what was, of course, a very wounded Magisk. And now we get Astralis on Desert Eagles. So a half buy here with a nice amount of utility. They could definitely piece something together here. This is a very viable round for Astralis, but they've already lost their first member, Glaive, down to the op of Montu. Ooh, they're just going to express this one. Okay, playing quick. Sliding into elbow already. Alexi's going to start dropping down that utility and pumping out the damage. Mantu's here. Oh, shooting at dead bodies, but hey, the job is nearly done. Deagle perhaps from Magisk as he gets himself a second kill. That quick flank coming through from NBK. Stutters for a moment. And this bomb plant should be good. There's an incendiary now thrown out. Ooh. And it just forces him forward into NBK's spray, an 11th for OG.
Yeah, that's what we call in Dota zoning right there. Got the molly to push him forward, and NBK's not worried. Another round where he saves them. Don't know what happened with Issa's spray there, but it doesn't matter. They win the rounds, and they're fine with that. Of course, it's costly because now they're running at a deficit. 3 players dead. But it could have gotten even uglier, it feels like.
It's nice to know these guys are human. Alexi shooting that dead body because he thought it was an opponent.
Right. We've all been there.
Classic. OG have a lead.
They do, man.
Yo. I see that logo on fire. It looks good.
Yes. I'm happy you're happy for OG success since you haven't gotten a prediction correct yet.
Well, at this point, I've accepted my fate. I am the punching bag around here. You guys should see how they treat me in the studio. Nobody makes eye contact. I have to pick up everyone's dishes. They asked me yesterday, Connor, who'd you predict? And then before I could answer, they say, doesn't matter.
They pay you to know your predictions, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah, I hired an analyst specifically to make my predictions this event, and I'm still going to be 0 for 4.
Oh my God. Does it still have something to do with you or not?
No, not even. Maybe I've just got, you know, bad decision-making in general.
Yeah, bleeding over from Counter-Strike habits.
Nice full-fledged gun round here in the 22nd. Spread out offense initially, but everybody's kind of congregated over on long. Mid being neglected for the time being. Oh, but
well.
Yeah, Mantu, he tries to go over top of the smoke. Device is ready for it. Incendiary on the feet of Glaive gives an audio cue over. Valda making the most of it. Big time.
They're falling back. There's a crack on this smoke, so they can't really... Oh, okay, that's like kind of a bluff, but Dupree gets the kill. The trade back happens. Oh, this is actually a counter. Issa getting this kill sends everything back. Even though it's 3 on 4, look at the damage on Glaive and Magisk. Plus, they know that no one had crossed from long yet. And now B is kind of out of the picture. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, Valda's ready, though. Cuts down Zipix with a headshot. Woo! Working with a little bit of room. And he's got them all. Valda, nicely done. Of course, he hears the footsteps of Glaive, who will get himself a kill, but if only he had more time. This is a 12th round win for OG, a 2-point lead, and a flawless CT side so far.
No kidding, no kidding. So really, it feels like a little bit of Astralis here in the second half with how they're playing. This was a, oh man, like, this is so many close situations in a row once again, which is cool to try to unpack. But Valda's the hero. I mean, in terms of just a pure ADR, he actually gets the dinks earlier. He gets the damage through the smoke. He finishes it off the players as well. The leftovers at the end of the day, looking a little bit more animated on the cameras. That's nice to see. But of course, at the in the final stretch, that's when you got to be most worried about Astralis. Okay, this is when they get the strongest. But at least we have a game on our hands. Honestly, yesterday between Big and OG was a little bit messier, and it was hard to watch at times a little bit. But now it's a lot more competitive. But I'm sure if you look at this from the lens of Astralis, you're thinking, man, they're making maybe mistakes that they shouldn't make. But they also did come into this with a 10-5 half. Fight goes on again. Doing a lot of 4-1s with long. Early damage in. I think, you know, Montu in terms of like cool plays, he hasn't done anything too interesting, but he has just quietly continued to get a kill every single round except for that last one. And then you have the second star in Valda who can make up for Montu.
Thing was yesterday is that Searson just absolutely had his number. Yeah. Something like 10-1 in terms of op kills.
Yeah, definitely.
After Dust 2. So he was just completely nullified. And we're not seeing that this evening.
Yeah, he's won a couple of duels versus Device straight on, and for the rest of the rounds, he's actually, you know, typically you don't want your op fighting the other op. That's just two high value targets putting up tons of risk. It's not really worth it. You want to try to take down the weaker pieces, right? Anybody who's with a rifle, you live longer, you get more kills. Avoid the op if possible. But when it has come to it, you know, Mantu's held his own. Oh, the flash. Oh, it's perfect, actually.
It is so on point. Alexi B going to get 2 assists as Valda extends off long. Device will trade frag back, and Valda can't get himself a trio. Now it's going to fall onto the offer. We just spoke of him. 30 seconds here for Astralis. They try to use the smoke from the frag grenade to cover the jump. Not going to work. And now Device is sent with his tail tucked.
They can wait this out if they want to. I mean,
they want to. But Issa, he wants his kill, and he will take it as OG continue to tear up this CT side. Now we're not even talking bomb plants.
I mean, it's just a perfectly timed flash. Another flash from Alexi B for the long retakes. Just really well timed, right? They don't wait longer than they need to. That's also, that kind of goes unnoticed a little bit. If he doesn't hit this shot, you know, there's potential the bomb goes down. So 2v2 with a long plat in question. Potentially Astralis are still winning there. But now the close situations are starting to lean towards OG. It's looking very good. Astralis on their 4th tag timeout. Unfortunately, it's still Dust 2 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is a lot of the mid-round moments. And the game, I mean, Dust 2 matches are fun to cast. There's so many creative moments in the 2v2s and 3v3s. But it's just, you know, when it comes to preparing like your opening strategy for a round, there's nothing particularly wrong about taking long control and then thinking about committing to A. It's this idea of, oh, we're getting flash retaken here. We're taking damage through the smoke. It's more just like a nature of the map problem that they're having trouble overcoming. And look at this, OG on fire, 13-10 end pistols here for Astralis as they defend against 14.
8 consecutive round wins from OG. Not one T round win yet for the Danes, but they've got themselves up quickly. They definitely hang on to enough utility to make this hold a bit more difficult. We'll see. OG move their pieces. Alexi into the CT spawn, kind of checking for the possibility of a mid walkout. OG don't have eyes there from the get-go. But it's Montu who is at the top of the scoreboard for the defense. 22-13, sitting over towards Carr, op ready to fire off. Glaive, he's going to call the forces closer towards the doors. And here they come. Walking outwards as Issa is called into the action.
Sees a lot.
Yep, and then walks away from it.
Yeah, I mean they see the plan. They don't get the kills, but this is where Astralis need to make a new move because they were going to commit very heavily to that mid B setup. But again, it's not too much you can do. They split up to make it look like it's been a long split the whole time, getting in position quite quickly. And Alexi's calling them out, but is he going to flank tunnels or is he going to flank top mid is the question. Flashed along and Alexi drops a bomb.
Vault is now going to come out from pit. Oh, it is nothing but OG across the kill feed. A rock-solid round. 5 frags, 0 deaths, 14 rounds on the board.
And their most pick map is Inferno. That's OG. 45%, I think, is what Pimp said or Maniac said as a first pick. And Astralis picked Inferno into them. And this was the question of, like, this would be the time where you'd pick Nuke. In this kind of veto, and it is, you know, why don't they pick Nuke? Are they not comfortable with their Nuke at the moment? I mean, their Inferno definitely looks fallible. So this is a precarious situation here on Dust 2. They both used to be maps that Astralis had just put up insane win streaks on, both of these maps, but it's been a year and a bit since then. Okay, who has the edge in this round? It's hard to say. I mean, this situation is pretty even from what we've seen, but almost every time it's gotten to this point, OG have been able to edge it out with the help of Valda, especially Valda Alexi B combo here on A.
Incendiary down to counter out any kind of an A split, but T's a bit slower towards middle for the time being.
They're trying to bait that flash peek again.
Mm-hmm. So far, no bite. Yep, there it is, cat play. Ooh, these CTs look compromised. They're going to turn their attention back towards elbow. Glaive hits him with the drive-by, but Valdez is still good to deliver. Gets his kill. That bomb's cut off on Catwalk. Glaive, he's going to have to dig them out of this position, and he's nearly dead himself. There's also a chance that MBK comes up from Cat and counters this A hit, but they've got that bomb front sight planted. They've got Device down on long, op ready to go. First kill comes through. Glaive working with little HP, still takes a headshot.
They might not know he's here.
It's all on NBK. That smoke's gonna counter the offer. He gets the kill to Glaive. Just one more headshot versus Device.
No way he missed that.
USP's out. Oh my god, he's just tagging him down. He's playing with him. NBK. Audacious plays. It's Astralis with the round win. They finally put an end to the streak of the CTs, but it's still that 3-round lead.
That was extremely close. In terms of adaptation, it's cool. Like, the strat made sense, you know. They take long like they used to do, and then OG came in a little bit late, realizing that there could be a cat split. You saw that blue kind of line from the smoke to show that they were going to go and take cat control, but it was too late at that point. Astralis has swung. So they found one opening. They adapted to something at least. But is that enough? We still got a few rounds to go, and even that round came close, man. OG have definitely brought the fighting spirit. Wow, it was a very expensive round here for Astralis. Down to a Galil, a Mac 10 here for Zipix. But at least the gears are turning. Alexi and MBK actually up here on the mid boxes.
Glaive could go in. Nope. Dives back instead, so...
He kind of cancels the molly, though. They don't push through on that, so Mantu can stay up here now.
Yep. Can hang around on his position. They're going to get curious towards tunnels. It's technically a 2v1, and Dupree just working with the Galil. Oh, he sees the first one cross. Good trade frag. Luckily, they were 2 players. I think OG will take that because it's not like Issa needs to cross back through mid, so they're still working Astralis towards the better defended bomb site.
They win the information, yeah. 1 for 1, but tunnels is clean beyond that.
25 seconds to spare. You see the utility starting to come in. Device got the lineup. Smokes down. Bit of a defense here. Definitely throwing themselves towards ramp. NBK, he could be that playmaker. They've got the bomb on site, planting for Catwalk. NBK goes inwards. He hits the headshot to Magisk, but Magisk gets the better of the fight, and Glaive, that anchor in middle, finds the B rotator to lock down this round. Astralis, they do it. They squeeze their way through Catwalk, and they're going to win back-to-back rounds, 14-12.
I love how they get the bomb down, actually. The flash kind of to come in, and NBK feels like he has full rights to swing, but there's nobody there, and then suddenly off the corner of a smoke, someone appears. That was just very nicely done from Astralis off of the cap play. If no one gets damage in on the players crossing, then that's a free plant. Sometimes, I mean, that's the only time you do get to get any damage in is your opper on long, but they weren't in place in that situation. So 2 guns saved, maybe. Oh, Valda taking some damage, almost answering back, but here it is, right? They just stay so deep in. They're not just out at the wicker baskets. They're not sitting at the barrels, holding that hard angle, ready to eat the flash. Just nobody's there, right? Nobody's home. And it catches them off guard.
So a matter of millimeters, man. Magisk, he eats a headshot, still gets his kill. It's not like NBK missed the shot. Let's see what they can do with the M4 and the op.
Yeah, this is where Montu can kind of go unchanged. They've got they weaponized the M4, and they have Montu right behind him as well.
This is sick too, right? This is the 2 heavy hitters for OG we've seen.
But we've got long, we've got under, we've got lower, and we've got top mid here, all ready to crunch on this. You better believe they're waiting for this push.
Yep.
And Montu goes down. They can recover the op, but again, they've got too many ways to trade back.
Perfectly done from Astralis. Take down both of the players looking to make the play. Now you just clean up versus these measly USPs. Take that 13th round, and you are still within the potential 16-14 close. Dupree clears up close, gets the second kill. Again, just the pistol's not going to deliver much. This is actually Dupree on for the ace.
I just got all the refrags from lower coming out late. Yeah, now it's a much more real game, of course. 2 rifle rounds in a row. Well, I mean, I guess the 1 rifle round plus this. They didn't actually invest, I don't think, into this at all. They just kept the M4 and op forward. That's it.
Spot on.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's, of course, OG's money. That's a bit more
valuable.
It's in a tighter spot just because they're on the win streak, so they're collecting that loss bonus. But they could potentially buy again. I think I saw Issa with enough money for an op as well. So we'll see what happens. Seen a couple of cool rounds now from Astralis. A very clean cap plant, a long split, but with Cat involved that they hadn't tried before. That's caught OG off guard. So now what is the strategy that Astralis will try to do? The game becomes more high level. We're seeing some adaptations from Astralis. Definitely not out of it. And some early damage here on Alexi B.
Just to make things that much more interesting. Weak link.
No one sneaks out.
A weak link on an important player. Alexi loves to throw himself at his enemies. He's got 9 assists, actually.
They countered the Xbox smoke with this kind of forward aggressive smoke on Cap, but no one's pushed up towards it.
Alexi already susceptible, though. If he dies, working only with half health, then it is only NBK back B site. And by the looks of this bomb, grouping up inside of tunnels, NBK is about to get challenged. He throws down his incendiary, And then he starts pumping shots through smoke. Nicely done versus Magus, but there's that weak link. It has a crucial impact on this one, but Glaive makes that same decision not to stick around in mid, instead going towards tunnels. We saw this fall short, and NBK has delivered crucial damage. OG a little hesitant, thinking maybe there's a man in mid.
No smoke?
No smoke.
Oh, they need to cross.
Valda, he's gonna challenge. Device misses that first op shot. Dude, Astralis, they just go stagnant.
Oh, they're throwing the retake smoke early as well. This puts some pressure on the B-side attack. They're coming through.
It gives him the cross.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do actually. They're not using it, and they give him the cross.
Oh, and he's got a little gap to work with. That actually enables the bomb to get over. This could have been such a worse position. But don't forget, the HP here for Astralis is incredibly low. And again, no utility to hang on with, but Glaive, that's not going to stop him from executing Issa. 2 versus 3 for OG.
They're in a position where they might, I mean, they've got to think about whether or not they can do this. They don't know about the HP entirely, and Montu's already made his way back to long. They're just going to punish for exits. They let this one go.
Oh,
they didn't realize that Astralis had no smoke.
Yep, that retake smoke is what enables the easier cross.
They just had, man, if they had realized that,
wow.
Astralis had no utility to cross that door, Montu could have had a free shot on the cross.
Oh, that one's going to sting when they watch it back, man. Glaive getting the better of Alexi, making the most of Device's early damage. NBK,
another
awesome
great
job.
Yeah, he's done so well.
2 easy pickups before he even takes damage, and then he even gets the dink versus Zipix. And then we saw that stagnation, man. They're like gargoyles, just waiting, sitting still.
The weird part for the lurk smoke for me was, even despite not knowing, like, that's, you know, how maybe they don't know it's okay. They don't use the smoke at all. I mean, they literally just block their vision and they don't come out into the site. So if they were going to use it in some way, or, you know, enter the retake early with 3, get the info, see if Astralis are still there, it makes sense. Yeah. I think that was a really, oof. It's going to be a hard one to explain. Game is, of course, still not over. Still close in every single situation.
Back-to-back pauses. What a half this has been.
Yeah.
9-round streak from OG. 4 in a row now for Astralis. If they get their 15th right now, then that's them getting themselves on fire with a 30th round ahead. Leave it to the Great Danes.
It's a tense moment. It sucks because you're spending most of the CT tack pauses trying to figure out what you think Glaive is going to do, as opposed to, you know, what you necessarily want to try to do. The one aggressive option, you know, to play up mid, is that something that they need to do to win? Not necessarily. They've had a lot of success this half already, playing pretty standard CS, fighting a little bit at long. So I don't know what they want to try to do. Damn. Lexi sticking out with a sore thumb. 531 utility damage here. Overall, just leaning, I think, a little bit more heavily, even though evenly to Astralis, heavily to OG. And we'll have to see what the game plan is going to be. Is that 3 pauses in a row?
It was tactical, now technical.
Okay.
Issa's keyboard died.
Oh, perfect. Maybe put some new batteries in there or something.
Sorry, guys. Forgot to charge my keyboard.
Yeah, I was using like a wireless charger to charge like a vape. Indulge a little bit more. Oh my god, are we back into the game?
I think so.
Round 28?
29.
Fair question.
Around 29. Things couldn't be more serious.
Well, there's a few skilled hampers.
Oh, they actually don't have enough money to invest at all. Oh my god, it's
right.
MBK Montu on and off, but nobody else has put in the
bomb is right there, so if he
put in the
gets
money.
both these skills, it will
Valda
be exciting. They're waiting for him. They do line up. Oh, there's the one.
Oh my god,
not gonna get it.
Astralis gonna get here for free. No, not if MBK can say anything about that.
Over at the A side in the meantime, but if you saw the bomb, which I'm guessing he probably did, well then
drops onto the B side, and that's a 5v4 advantage. And he's got eyes down on the bomb
getting down yet. Anyway, the train continues, and now weirdly it's a 3-on-3.
OG could potentially take
it. Checking underpass to make sure that that's how they get the 5v4 with the bomb. He put himself in a round where their economy is against.
He's
really good at positioning himself on the map to get
how well he's been playing. A lot of these rounds
now it is going to be the 3 alive here for Big, and they should be getting the bomb plant. No smoke to help.
Normally he has to wait for them to come to him. In this case, he gets to show us a little bit of impact.
They had one hampers. I thought maybe they would try and
forward, but
I think the execute still comes at it. You could do that.
We've got Astralis very much clumped up inside the tunnels. Glaive again, this solo lurk in middle, such a crucial part of the puzzle. Snaps it onto Alexei, but MBK's got a second.
Terrace actually getting into
Scout
really
is doing wonders for OG.
Stay in here and stay alive.
He still has support as well. It's a behind the car with a deagle in hand. Can MBK give us a third? No. Overwhelmed by the AKs. And Issa, he's missing the first shot, but he still recovers with one. And then they both swing wide.
There's Keto with the one.
Dies in the
instant
meantime.
follow-up though, and Tapson will get the kill, but they're inside already. Diffusing knife is out. He's not hitting him, and it'll be the round for NIP.
Who's it gonna be?
Can he get the follow-up? Just the dirty shot. No, he can't.
Same smoke comes through. Glaive on duty to watch the tunnels.
And DP
but he doesn't get the headshot.
That is exactly
now Magis claws one off of middle. We've got ourselves a 1v1.
Without the kit, it's not happening.
Well, Magic think he left.
He's just playing behind the column.
He thinks he left.
Volta jumps in. He's just playing around with him. Volta, close and personal. Loses his head as Astralis take 15.
Oh, he keeps his cool. That is so well played by Magis. Love how he just instantly decides to stay in the site instead of going outside, knowing that Matsu's going to focus all of his attention there. That is some beautifully played CS and Glaive as well.
Not holding back.
Both players left alive at the end definitely have an incredible amount of impact here. And this is one where once again, MBK gets all these kills in vain. He does so much to get the first two scout headshots. They got the 2.5 kills with the AUG on that previous round. Both rounds lost. And now, Astralis on fire, looking to close this out.
We know that we can play a slow game on it.
Ferocious towards long, Dupree in middle. Issa's tucked in the closer corner though. That's a 5v4 again for OG, just like last round.
We're getting here as well from Big. They go for the
of course, this time the rest of their team better equipped for the situation. We could be looking at overtime here in the opening map.
I love the
We've got Astralis working up, Cat.
Pushing up to get that information.
Two defenders in position on the A site. Make that just one. Glaive, clean headshot. He's got 60 health to work with. We've got 2 frags back from OG. That ramp man's still in a crucial position, but Astralis, they have time.
Pretty quick to know what you're doing. That worked out well.
They disengage from it.
goes down. He was very low on health already.
That just throws bomb back.
He's going to win the fight against Keto. So this is a great round.
We've got this heavy lean towards the A site. Negligible grenade.
It's fine. It's all right at the end. Yeah, this is a good move. So he knows.
Swapping over to the rifle, making sure Issa's no longer up close. Really well timed.
Jump scare.
They play shoulder to shoulder to Astralis. They could still just puncture into this B site maybe. They've got that one smoke still on device, and sure enough, he's going to throw it. Flashbang comes down, blinds them. Issa, he just got spotted. That's an easy pickup from device. And now it's a 2v1 versus NBK. But if we've learned anything, it's that he can lock down this B site. And he's going to try it one final time to get them into OT. They're coming at him, and he cuts down device. Bomb is not planted. 10 seconds to spare. He goes for the challenge, gets the headshot. With the tunnel flank. That's what gets us there. Overtime on Dust 2.
Another critical frag is that this time it actually results in the round. And we go to OT. No clear winner in sight. I mean, I really couldn't tell you. This was a nice comeback at the end for Astralis to get it to 15. OG looked alive the whole time, but just like in the first half, Astralis and all these close situations were coming out a little bit ahead here.
So I don't really want to.
Maybe a small mistake here from Issa.
For NIP, it's really nice, you know.
Put the round in jeopardy. But of course, MBK played it very, very well, like he has been for the majority of the CT side.
Quite a bit of cash in the bank.
And allows his team to delay as well, just close the kill, not even die until the very last seconds. Okay.
Now they have.
What's going to happen now in OT?
They actually have a lot of people that have rifles that incentivize NIP to go
down mid. A player coming out of tunnels.
Because if you're holding far back on the A bomb side,
pressure looks like on this setup, and they're
maybe not the
pushing
best choice. So
close.
He
hits his shot, but so does Dupree.
He
can hold here. He's trying to hold for MBK to fight this off.
Now it's all a crunch on NBK. He's going to get hit from 3 directions. Oh, he actually survives. NBK looking for another Glaive. That's going to buy a bit of time, but Magisk, he cuts them down in middle alongside Glaive. A really quick round coming out of Astralis. Through middle to the B site. CT's trying to push into tunnels. That almost gets caught out.
About the worst possible start they could have had. Look at Hampus, he's already in T-spawn. They're locked in. They can't fall back. And worse, even split. They don't know that they're locked in, right?
They're hoping OG go for one control.
All of the information.
They're rewarded. They get the Alexi kill as well as the rotator at mid. He's a huge name tag to grab at mid because either right or left side, he's usually the player overstacking one side or the other.
No point in giving this up.
Device looking for this punish. Whoa, that's interesting. What's that?
He does.
That was, I guess the first one was a T-smoke.
But again, not even fighting it. I love this.
And that tactic gets shut down.
Could he have instantly, got one and then the other one went for it? Yeah, maybe. But
Alexi blinded.
It's better to play it safe. It's better to
position
make sure.
Key for OG.
They'd go down at the end, but I mean, nearly
netting kills
on Santara's there. And now they're coming for not allowing any kind of a save or anything like that.
And then Dupree jumps down to the
fresh start. Did they even hear this?
I don't think so.
It's hard to know. I don't think it's like, I don't think big were emotionally devastating losing that double overtime, but it does take its toll. And the problem is when you then get into this map and you go up on a 4-round losing streak like this,
and now the longer and the deeper Dupree tucks,
feelings were at the end of the map, right?
There are 3 players ahead of him, and he just decides to pull the trigger. Doesn't want to get caught out. Beautiful play from Dupree. Matsu could have never seen it, not with the pressure of those flashbangs. And sure enough, it's 4 alive for Astralis. They're gunning for that flawless T side in overtime.
The El Clasico, the Freiburg drop in a CT spawn. And there's no one in CT spawn, and Matsu full flash with the perfectly timed flash and the drop. Make sure there was no way he could corroborate that information in good conscience. We saw when he swung out wide that he didn't know for sure.
Curious to see if that's a shift that's working out for Big right now.
That is not what you expect.
Or not.
If you're OG in that spot. And that's with a 5v4 in that round.
They've got some Tech 9s.
Tough to lose in that fashion. But just like that at 17-15.
Bomb site. And again, I mean, if you get down there and you get the first kill, it can be worth it, right?
After a massive comeback from Astralis to get here.
On the bomb site, you could just overwhelm them. So here we go, timing. Ooh, from Plopsky, that's huge. And the counter Molotov coming out. He was really flashed. I don't think he had any idea what he was shooting at that point in time. So really important kill. And that slows it right down to a crawl. He did run out of bullets, and you need those.
You're just getting tagged into
of course. They need to win.
You know, losing a couple of players here, but not really such a big deal. Again, they're still making money.
Scraping sideways right with it.
Basically having 4 people at about 10k
them, dude. That is just
this upcoming round. Oh yeah, he just sees it
fair in war, but
shoots like a nice arc, just basically close.
Love and war.
The heels out from under,
all over the place.
And knocked no hesitation.
I like to just get things 80% correct.
But now we're gonna get Searson.
Alexi, let's see it, man. All on your own because of the DAC
for Big here.
And well, sure enough, he's gonna get himself 2 kills. Off the side of car, how about a 3rd one? You've got Glaive kind of turned between positions and a weapon swap. Alexi taking over. NBK comes out to lend the helping hand. It's all on Zipix. He's gonna get himself the frag versus Alexi.
The bomb site, he pushes up. The flashes are everywhere.
Into a 1v1.
Volda's late. He is the rotator, comes through tunnels often.
Getting planted, and
Zipix could potentially
for a
he seems so aware of this idea. I feel like part of him just wants to exit.
Like this, where you're sort of gatekeeping the middle of the map, and he'll get one more kill. So
he's coming in to clear the tunnel. Oh, he's got his back turned, and he gets timing.
Yes, sir. OG gonna take 1 round here in overtime.
In the middle on that catwalk.
You were dead on though. You could see him starting to figure that one out. Volda has consistently come from tunnels. That's how we got to OT to begin with.
Cool. We killed the guy short. Should be one guy on B.
Pretty crazy.
Smash him as fast as you can.
Dude, not kill him.
That flash,
he's
so
just
he has
nice
no
space from this angle, and it's really hard to clear unless you go super deep. Plus, this flash from Montu helped out a lot.
Sanders, you're right. Allows for Big to just pounce on the opportunity.
It really comes down to him and his mechanics. Takes out
5-round start here for
player coming through, and
that's not too shabby at all.
Does come down to just a matter of timing.
They've got quite a bit of money.
He's always one of the most immersive players, right? So, there's certain people are very, very immersed.
And it is it's super significant, obviously, that it's actually Plopsky that they get that kill on, right? Because they know the setup for NIP2, like they have an idea about how that works.
It's either him getting shocked
if they got some other kill, you know, if it had been Knock in that position, maybe
if he wins or loses,
which could have happened. Like they could have had a 3-man setup at B, but if they killed Knock there, I bet B would have thought, oh wait a minute, that's kind of the wrong player. That means it could still be Plopsky and Hampus inside the B bomb site.
Remember, it was a 10-5 CT side from the Danes,
you know. And this time actually North is over at the B-bomb side, and Plopsky's playing middle instead. So we'll see how this plays out. He does have the org in there, so maybe that's just why they wanted the orbital run this side. Flash in, and oh wow, they nearly caught him. deep nade.
And he waits it out. Gets the better of
Pick up and down.
Nice pickup here for Astralis. Glaive's going to confirm that there are more bodies near the doors.
Get out of that for scot-free. For free.
How do OG roll back from a 4v5?
4-on-4 though, his favor is big. No,
I mean,
Nip are gonna have to try and cover a little bit more ground.
That Dupree is on the right side, so
he's checking it out.
They kind of got the right idea, but now two players rotate over to support and B. So Astralis is the one that's the correct read here. Execute is coming. Just a few seconds.
And they've just got to lock this down. They've got the bodies in position.
That sets it up. I mean, the only way to really stop this
first flash. Grenades continuing to sail forward.
He's
Dupree holding the side of the smoke. Bomb drop. Confirm that there's a player up above. Glaive coming out 10.
He's not going to get shot in the back, but he has no way of knowing that. So
he's got the cover of the box.
How much can you really rely on
not
just
much
one
time,
person to do
and again, no bomb.
Actually, doesn't even go down.
A very dire situation for OG at this point. Looking like Astralis are about to secure themselves in 18.
And a second round for Big. This is huge news, right?
Like,
again, they need to play themselves, I think, mentally back into this game. And getting a second round here, it's a pretty good start. It's also going to limit that CT side economy, which
only thing
if they can't save this AWP, he's actually already going to be under a lot of pressure.
Normally he's on the right, you know, he's outside of
it certainly helps
outside of the window for some of this early round when he thinks they're going to come out. So this is a different look from him.
Not quite hitting
and a
those
small
shots
risk,
in the
right?
same
When
way.
you're on that
He's
side of the door, sometimes it's hard to cross back.
So it's allowing
they find that moment. They kind of make it feel like it's an overstack towards A. They bait OG and take B sides and rotate over right after.
For Big to establish themselves in mid and open up that A side in that way. That's going to spell problems for NIP. And so we need to see if Big Clan is going to keep being able to isolate Rez and take these fights.
Dupree falling away.
If you realize, okay, Rez isn't hitting hard, and then ZTR, the new guy,
to work with,
is over here missing shots like this, well then you're going to start trying to figure that out, and you're going to start trying to exploit that.
Yeah.
So big name of the game for them now is to try to put as much pressure as possible on those two players.
High in this moment.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty telling.
That could definitely be at least the last, right? And Astralis a trade. All is down there, and they know it, and Nock is still hitting it. Now Tizian is coming for him, and they both know this is going to be a really important duel. And if he wins it, and he will, he can have an escape, and suddenly the two players in the middle are isolated. They're down 2-4.
Allows for him to peek around. Device Dupree, Glaive, Zippix. It's nearly a team ace to shut down OG. And Montu, he has nothing to work with other than himself.
The round.
He was waiting and hoping the bomb would be planted for him, that maybe he comes in big with a clutch, but instead he has no real chance at this.
Something like a 4-5 scoreline.
A pop-up above the smoke. He will kill Dupree.
Wow, that's a huge save.
Now it's just 4 more to go.
He's on fire right here.
I suppose the saving grace, Mohan, is he has to play for it. Maybe he pulls out a ridiculous clutch, but he's got 30 seconds to do it. So in reality, it seems like Astralis, after having lost so many T rounds in a row,
he should have that angle every day of the week.
Enough to get into OT. And from there, we saw a really fiery tempo from Astralis' T side.
Before his opponent sees
really kind of cranking the dial, getting the rounds they needed. And I mean, Mantu literally can't win this. So congrats to the Danes. They close out on Dust too. But a much closer affair than some would have expected.
I mean, the game was almost over, man. It was like 14-10 here for OG. It was tough at the end. They lost a few rounds in a row. Of course, that is what Astralis can do to you. They take it to overtime after dropping around 30, but they close it out, and that's all that matters.
But it's 1-0 up, and now they're going to be on the bomb side, and if they lose one of these fights, they can still be in trouble here in IP. So I kind of like this on Big. They got deep into Catwalk before they've ever spotted. So let's just find out here.
The individual form across both teams looked good.
Goes down.